Hello friends, a very warm welcome to Ansarkari. I am Vikas Bhardwaj. Continuing our understanding of different concepts with respect to theory and practice of democracy, here we are taking an overview of most important concepts and principles with respect to elections and majority principles. Let's see what election means. So what is election? Election is the process of choosing representatives, very important keyword, and making governance decisions. I think we have to revise it again and again. Process of choosing representatives and making governance decisions. It is at all levels, at federal level, at local level, at national level, at this, or you can say at the central level. So majority principles decide who wins and how decisions are legitimized. It is the question of winning the elections. If you are a winner, there may be different methods to that, but if you are appointed as winner, then in the eyes of public, in the eyes of masses, you are a legitimate public representative, a great moral authority, a constitutional authority. A responsibility is imposed upon you, where you are actually responsible and even harbinger for even success and even development, or even you can say well-being of the masses. So different types of majority apply depending upon the system and context. Let's see in context of India. So India uses first past the post system, FPTP, in Lok Sabha elections, where the candidate with the most votes in a constituency wins. Okay, most votes in a constituency wins. Whatever is the number, that is not a botheration. It is 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, even by one vote. If you are a winner, then you are seen as a winner. It is not seen in terms of, you can say, margin. It is seen in terms of, if you are a winner, you are a winner. So I ask you a question. If a candidate wins with just 30% of vote, do they truly represent the majority of the people? Do think about this question and write the answer. And also do a small exercise about first past the post system with respect to Indian Lok Sabha, because such kind of questions are coming up in the MCQ based questions in the prelims. Now let's see what simple majority is. Simple majority means candidate or option wins by securing more votes than others, as we have just seen with respect to FPTP also. Not required to cross 50% of the votes. For example, candidate A scores 40%, candidate B 35%, candidate C 25%, now A wins. Now, in many Indian constituencies, member of parliaments are winning with less than 50% votes due to multiple candidates splitting the votes. That is why you must have been reading the words like, there is friendly fight among, parties. Then there is also ऑलवेज न्यूज कि दोनों दलों ने बातचीत की और उन्होंने बागी, दैट मीन्स रेबल कैंडिडेट्स को, जो कि इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट या निर्दलीय उम्मीदवार की तरह खड़े हो रहे थे, उनको बैठा दिया. पीछे कुछ भी हो सकता है. दे में बी गिवन सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ एल्यूरमेंट्स कि तुम्हें इतना पैसा देंगे, तुम्हें बाद में ये पोस्ट देंगे, आपके परिवार के उस आदमी को हम वहां ये मौका देंगे, और ऐसे करके किसी भी तरीके से, क्योंकि कोई अगर वोट काटता है तो एक शब्द हमारे इलेक्शंस में जो बहुत फेमस है, वोट कटुआ. Do check out such lexicons. So my question is, does a simple majority risk creating leaders without a broad political support? This is another question that you must write in 100 words. What is absolute majority? Requiring more than 50% of the total votes cast. Okay, please remember this. Total votes cast. That means ensuring winner has support of over half of the electorate. That is very compulsory, that more than 50% of electorates must support. For example, out of 100 votes, at least 51 votes are needed. That means in the Lok Sabha confidence vote, you can say confidence motion is there. The government must prove it has support of more than half of the MPs. We will read about these motions later in details. But then this is one of the examples of absolute majority. Now my question to you is, why do you think absolute majority is demanded in parliament? Why? And but not in general elections. Why do you think such is the scenario? So do think about it and try to ponder over it. Next come qualified majority. That means it has got higher threshold, what we have just read, than the absolute majority. Often two-third or even three-fourth. 2/3, that is around 75% you can say, and even 3/4. So that is how it is. 2/3, not around 75% I should say, but more than 60%, and 3/4, maybe around, you can say around 75%, used for constitutional amendments or even major policy shifts. So Indian example is the amending of the Indian Constitution. Do read about 42nd Amendment Act, which required 2/3 majority in both the houses. So my question to you is, should fundamental changes in democracy, fundamental changes, so what fundamental changes means is a very, very broad term, but then you are reading a lot, then that's why you must be able to understand. Should fundamental changes in democracy ever be decided by simple majority? Why or why not? Just elaborate your answer. Coming to the next term of relative majority. So candidate has more votes than others. Okay, more votes than others, but not an absolute majority. That means common in multi-candidate elections. It is a common sight in multi-candidate elections. It may be leading to runoff, then first round is done, then second round comes up, and that's how it is. So in state assembly elections, many candidates, many MLAs win with relative majority due to multiple regional parties contesting. So you can say that there is a system in which candidate is getting more vote than others, but it is not an absolute majority. So runoff system makes Indian elections more representative. Do you think so? If runoff system comes into picture, it is just an example over here. Otherwise, MLAs are also actually following first past the post system. Coming to two round system. If no candidate gets absolute majority in one round, second round comes into two. So it is ensuring winner has a broad support. If I again take Indian example, then India is not using this system, but the presidential elections in France follow it. So if I give you an example that if India is adopting it for Lok Sabha seats, then what will happen? Do you think it will be very long? There will be a lot of chaos. It will be highly, complex, and then expenditure and then logistics and so forth. So two round system will reduce the dominance of big national parties in India. Do you think so? Is this the way ahead? Do attempt this question. Coming to the point of plurality versus majority systems. So plurality, what system can be called as plurality system? That is first past the post system, because candidates, number of candidates can stand up and then candidate with the most wins. Like in case of India, we say that is called the first past of post system, that is plurality system. Majority system, that is requiring more than 50% votes. In the systems where runoff, second round, and then rank choice is also there. And system choice shapes party strategies. What kind of system is there? It is FPTP, or it is a majority system that is actually going to shape party strategies in India, in India, and even elsewhere also in abroad. So for example, China, it has got a different system. Do check out. Even with respect to France, we just said, or even the presidential elections of the USA, they are also very different. There is a concept of primaries, and then there is a whole thing in which president is the head of the state. So the system will decide what will be the party strategy. In case of India, there is a election manifesto, then there are a lot of allurements given, there are a lot of promises made, and even Supreme Court says that promises is made in an election, they must be followed up. Voter behavior also matters a lot. Caste, community, Mahila, Yuva, and then minority, so forth, and representation. So BJP won majority of seats in 2014 Lok Sabha with only 30% of the total votes cast nationwide. Do you think of? Still, it is such a big, dominant, and a great party. So my question to you is, does India's FPTP system exaggerate the strength of winning parties? They are not so strong, but actually it is exaggerating because there are no other methods involved. It is not a foolproof and a smart method. Do you think there is some another method in your mind? Do think about it and write the answer. So thank you very much. I just wanted to introduce you with the system so that you understand democratic principles a bit more better. But then there is no shortcuts. You must read, revisit the video, revise it, make your own notes, try to remember keywords, raise doubts and questions, and move forward with confidence. Then only there will be true success. Thank you very much.